Just walk on over. We're going to go over to the sheriff's office, which in Tombstone was, on the outside, was a oyster house.
Ah.
Can we go in?
Yeah, we're going to go in, and then Greg's going to take over. We're going to change roles. But I will say that in the 19th century, Tombstone, Arizona was one of the, of course it wasn't a state at that point, it was a very metropolitan town. You could buy oysters fresh, lobsters there. You could also buy the latest fashions from Paris on the streets of Tombstone. The San Francisco Chronicle had an office in Tombstone. So they had 3 daily papers or 2? Two daily newspapers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add something to your tour. So you remember when they wanted to try the herbs? Ike Clanton wanted it out in the town of Contention.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we hiked out to the town side of Contention.
Okay.
And we found what looked like it was just a place where people threw trash. And there's just a whole bunch of oyster shells out there, old oyster shells.
Cool.
Yeah, so 3 railroads went into Contention,
Yeah.
and I heard, I don't know because I didn't live then, that they actually had fresher seafood more on a regular basis then than we do now because all those trains that came in from the coast and stuff. Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, we found a whole bunch
of them.
them.
And I've been in public transit my second career, and I know a lot about rail and how the maps of the late 1800s, the railroads around here were just incredible compared to what they are today. Because you only have 2 railroads out here anymore,
right?
Except for a bunch of short lines, but you only have UP and BNSF, so it really is a difference. And yeah, that was the way to get around.
Yeah.
But what?
Okay, welcome to the sheriff's office. Now, one thing about the sheriff's office, I love this building, and I'll tell you why. In the movie Tombstone, this was where they drove a horse right through this window to shoot in the barber chair, because there was barber chair, it was supposed to be a barber's area. But I met the gentleman that trained the horse. His name was Rob Larson, and he trained his horse for 28 days. He said they were giving him 30 days, and he said, no, I haven't done before that. So sure enough, he had his horse, and he started using carrots through a shower curtain. And as he held the carrot, see-through shower, as soon as he poked his nose through it, he would get the carrot. So he started doing that, doing it over time. He started putting little thin sheets of plastic, plexiglass, in front of him. As soon as you poked his nose through it, you'd get that carrot. So on the 28th day, he brought the horse out. They said, yeah, we're ready to shoot. We've only got 2 pieces of candy glass because of the production across the street. So he said, we won't need it. We'll just use it. Pretty ballsy to say that, no, we're just going to do it in one shot. But what happened was this boardwalk was kind of out further, so they had to build an area with some dirt up to it, and they put 1-by-1 strips in front of the window, and the window was candy glass. So Rob said when they went to do the stunt, the stunt guy's on his back, he said, take care of me kind of thing, what we're doing, because he didn't know what was actually going to go through. So anyways, Rob was on the outside. You actually see him pulling the horse up to the boardwalk, and he runs inside, and the horse comes in. Well, the only problem, they forgot to tell the horse, he does that through the plastic sheeting and all that. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of people here with cameras and stuff. So when you see the horse come through the glass, and he starts to go, holy smokes, what's going on here? And he turns, and the horse's butt's right on that wall. He turns around and then starts shooting, and it looked perfect. But the director, George Cosmatos, he's out there and he's doing this to Rob, and Rob's going, keep going. So that whole scene was just such a good.
So how long have they been doing these type of tours here?
Just over 2 years.
Okay.
As we walk down this street, on your right, that would be the Crystal Palace. And on the left, this is the Oriental. It had a couple of things in it. One thing with Clint Eastwood and the outlaw Jersey Wells, he was inside the Mercantile across the street, and then the snake oil salesman was across over here, and that's the line that he sits there. He goes, "It's Josie Well," and he's up on this porch, and that's when the 4 Confederate guys coming out of the saloon, and he says the famous line, "You gonna pull those pistols or whistle Dixie?" And he shoots all of them, and then Chief George actually shoots the 4th guy, and then they ride off into the sunset.
Love that movie.
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Yeah. My favorite line is, "Dying ain't much of a living, boy."
Now, what's kind of cool about this building, when they did the Oriental, they actually had a wall that came right here, and this is where the bar was, and this is where Wyatt Earp comes in and basically takes the part of ownership of the Oriental. Now, when that wall was here, George wanted to move it because he wanted a bigger space. So in 8 hours, they took the wall down, but then if you watch the movie, this being the Campbell and Hatch, where the pool tables was, now he has all this room to film Campbell and Hatches with the pool table, and they had a door back in the back that shows where he got shot, but they actually, well, I'm sorry, showed him getting shot through the front door, but in actuality, Morgan actually got shot in the alleyway, from the alleyway, and it came in. And the other bullet was only inches away from Wyatt's head.
So you can, is that you can see where the bar was there?
Yeah,
Is that what that
was
is?
pretty much where the bar was, but it moved quite a few times. Yeah, it moved quite a few times.
And so that would be the door where they were all walking in and out. That one.
This would be the door that
Wyatt would
come in. This was the door that, as they were, Ike was getting his guns back, and he slaps
right
here. A friend of ours, who's a legend, Dickie Stanley, he was walking the street, and they said, "Get that guy," and he said, "Come on in." He said, "What am I doing?" He said, "You're gonna be sitting at the bar drinking a beer." So he's actually there when Wyatt comes in and is talking to the bartender. And what was funny about it, and we laugh every time he tells the story, is when he takes the gun away from Billy Bob Thornton, and he sits there and he goes, "Mel, put this behind the bar," and he threw it. Well, it was a rubber gun, but he got hit in the back of the head twice with it. So after they finally got the shot with Mel catching the gun, Kurt Russell came up to him, put his arm around him, and he said, "I am so sorry." And he goes, "After the second time, I didn't feel it." So, but from that little gesture, there was no cameras on set the whole time, and he said, "You know, that bump is starting to go down, mess with Kurt," and he just started laughing. He goes, "I know there's not supposed to be any cameras, but could I get a picture with you?" And he goes, "Yeah, anybody got a camera?" And he said all these people were pulling cameras out, and he was like, "Where'd that come from?" So he got a picture with Kurt Russell. But the piano was back there with Doc Holliday. That was where the Pharaoh table was when they come in. When Josie comes in after the performance, this is where it all happened, was right here in this area.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, so you got the floor out over there, so I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Now, the reason the wall was up here when they first took over, but they decided to take it down because every production that comes in goes, "We want more room. We want the space." So they finally, the project guys just took the wall down complete, and they said, "Hey, if we need a new wall, we can put one up."
Right.
Type thing. But they like the big open spaces.
That's pretty cool.
The director for Tombstone took a lot of the props. They're not sure where they're at because this house couldn't house all the stuff. But he did take the bar. He took the pool table. That's not the original pool table.
Wow. That would have been a nice bar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The telegraph office, we actually have a gentleman that comes out. His name's we call him Sarsaparilla Joe, but he does telegraph. He's got a really cool table set up that you can actually do telegraph, and it'll respond back to him because he's got a little foot pedal. And it's really cool. And then he also does faro. He deals faro for us. Yeah, he's really. But he lives in California, 11-hour drive.
Oh.
And he'll come back and forth like
Wow,
it was
nice.
nothing.
Really, Miss Love doing that.
Yeah. The assay office is the original front for Tombstone. PSA office. Now the marshal's office, we're kind of proud of this because this is where all the snow and stuff was starting to tear down this area. So the project team said, you know, we can make something nice out of it. So they made it into the marshal's office. But what we also have in this far back corner, we have a cool room. So when somebody gets overheated and stuff, we can put them back in there and let them cool off and stuff. Now that's where you're going to find half the people here
in the cool room.
Yeah. So that's our project guys did that, and they did if you haven't noticed, they do a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So since you haven't seen Cooking the Dead, all right, that ends the tour. Have a nice day.
But I told him, I said, I'm gonna go this weekend. I'm gonna watch it.
There you go. Now this is key point for Cooking the Dead. As Tom said, that Sharon Stone actually put money in to have this built, and she wanted certain things done in this building. She wanted a staircase up to the top. It still is a 3-story building. Right here, when you see Cooking the Dead, there was a chair here that they put Russell Crowe on, and they had him tied up, hanging from this chair, and Gene Hackman was sitting across and started saying, "Preacher, you're going to have to join the gunfight." And he said, "No, I'm not doing it. You know, I'm a man of the cloth." And then he started shooting at the bottom of the chair legs. And he said, "Well, I guess that sells it." So he shot the last one, split the chair, and he shot the last leg. And as he was starting to tumble over, Sharon Stone is sitting over here. Boom, 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 boom. Shoots the rope off. And he goes, "Well, I guess you're in," type thing. And then Sharon Stone actually gets in to be the lady. Now that's not the original chalkboard that they had in the movie. This is one that we did, but those are all the characters that were inside the thing to the final Harrigan report.
Maybe the chalkboard's in Sharon Stone's garage.
Yeah, probably. And as productions come in, this is a used building because they like the way this building's set up. We have to take down all the pictures and off the walls and get it ready for production. But they love the bar the way it is. And then of course you can't beat a better bartender than Bad Bob.
Bad Bob. He's got sarsaparilla. There's a guest book there, registry, on the table.
Oh.
A lot of history, and that's why the Karchners decided they don't want to see it get moved over and taken down. So, that's about it. That's pretty much it.
The gift shop.
No, we'll go check the gift shop now.
And sign the red.
And sign the red.